Sue, we're still here,
Yeah.
chatting with even more folk with what looks to be, because I haven't had a chance to see it yet, an awesome documentary. So let's just go across the panel. I've got Sue.
Let's talk about what it's called.
Well, let's talk about your Sue,
I'm
your
Sue.
sergeant.
JJ Haney.
Right, and a sergeant, so which is important.
Geeta Gandhar. I'm the director and producer.
Which, let's
I
just
have
get it
a
out of the way.
co-director who co-produced as well.
Gorgeous name.
Thank you.
Love it. And there is a link coming for
Kudos
us
to you for
see
having
the
a great
film,
name.
right? The film looks amazing. I mean, I watched the trailer so I can at least know going in what the subject matter was, and this looks absolutely stunning. I mean, the idea of these women coming from Bangladesh who are mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, and are also, peacekeepers, going to Haiti to kind of keep the peace and help establish, well,
With
peace.
the UN.
Yeah, with the UN. It's just, that's a stunning story. You're taking what most people just see as political headlines and putting a very human face and human story behind it. Now, where did the impetus come to make this?
I would say that so my co-director Sharmeen and I, we were really interested in making, as she repeatedly says, a kick-ass story about Muslim women, because we feel that
Yes.
we as women from the South Asian diaspora are not represented in the media,
Right.
and often in a positive way, or we are not seen as empowered.
Right.
And there's many certain diverse stories out there that have much to sort of that could move the agenda forward for women in our part of the world.
Totally.
So this story was one that when we found it, we realized it was just you don't think of
No.
women, and particularly Muslim women, doing this sort of work and serving their country
Yeah.
and technically the world in this way.
Oh, totally.
And they were
we felt it was
at least,
important to
if
share.
not the first, then among the first, full female group of women to do such a
It is recent. I mean, honestly, they were from Bangladesh. They were the third rotation in Haiti. They were the third rotation of women to go. So it is relatively new. But there have been other FPUs sent out. Like
Right.
India has for the last now almost probably 13, 14 years has been sending out a contingent to Liberia. So it is not
cool.
necessarily a brand new concept.
Right.
But for Bangladesh it is fairly new.
And sadly, for me, it was a brand new concept as well.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Well, that's
that
what I was
it
going to
is.
say. For the world,
Yeah.
it's still not talked about at
Yeah.
least, whether it's happening or not.
So I love the fact that you're taking something that theoretically we all should have known anyway, and are putting it front and center, and I love that. So I just get excited about seeing it because the trailer, it looks stunning. I mean, I was just like, I'm totally seeing this. Totally seeing this.
We just got the link this
Hopefully
morning, so
everybody else has that response.
Yeah.
That
Right?
is the,
as soon
that
as I
is
read the
job
synopsis,
of
I was
the
like,
show.
I can't wait to go home and watch this.
Right? It looks. The subject matter, the way it's shot.
Have we said the title of the film?
Right? It's a journey of 1,000 miles.
Peacekeepers.
Peacekeepers, that's what it was. I was going to go Peacekeeper story or something, but no, it's not that. It's just Peacekeepers. And it just. And you, sir, were responsible for kind of shepherding these people around Haiti.
Yeah, pretty much. Try to work with logistics and
Wow.
try to make it happen.
He's being very humble. JJ was integral. Sergeant JJ was integral,
JJ.
integral to the making of this film. He was our kind of our leader on the ground. He really he made sure that we were safe. For one, that was a big concern for us to be
Right.
safe. He
Yeah, you weren't welcomed
he put
everywhere
up
you went.
he put up with all our constant demands and nonsense. He,
Womanly things.
Yeah, just in general. We have and he was and he was there for a year on a mission, and he also speaks fluent Creole. He is part half Haitian, so he has an incredible connection to Haiti that we were able to get a great understanding of Haiti. So anyways, now ask him whatever you want.
Now that we've set this up. That's just, wow. So how long have you been in the service?
You mean with the police force or?
Either or, both.
I started my 18th year,
God.
just like the Bangladeshi FPU, I was in mission for a year.
And to be able to go into these places, for people like me, that's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get, that's not true. I get scared by a lot of things, but the idea of going into these places, that takes a level of maybe dedication and courage that I don't think I might have. So
And do it as a woman.
right, or even as myself.
Yeah. Which isn't far off. No.
Thank you. But for you guys to be able to do that, that's, I mean, for as a director as well. I mean, yes, you've got the camera to, kind of maybe theoretically distance yourself by being objective by shooting through the camera. But I mean, to go into these places, that takes some serious guts. But and let me, I'm sure you guys have both been thankful already, but let me thank you for doing it, because that's the people who are going out there and doing these things that maybe Joe Average or me wouldn't do. I'm glad that you guys have done this, and I'm glad you're telling these stories.
Yeah. I'm glad you followed the women home after too, because it sounds like they didn't get. I mean, the experience alone is going to change them, so they're not the same people going home as they were when they left.
That's very true.
It kind of reminded me of like the stories I've heard after World War II, where the men came home from war and women were like, "All right,
I think
but
Jim-
we've been working."
I think you can probably speak to. I mean, he gets firsthand about what mission, how you change, and how you grow. And the women, I mean, that's what happened to the women.
Yeah.
You can maybe talk about it a little.
Yeah, well, you can't leave your comfort zone for a year and then come back unchanged.
Right?
It's,
Yeah.
It definitely is an eye-opening experience. It is very rewarding and very uplifting experience. And, if you go for the right reasons, and if you fulfill that sense of duty to your fellow man, and by fellow man, I include women and
Humanity as a whole.
humanity as
Yeah.
a whole. You definitely come back a changed person inside out. It's definitely it's one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever got to live.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great experience.
I'm intrigued by the way that you put it as rewarding as well. Because, I mean, is it rewarding in the fact that for the things you've seen there and then coming back and seeing how we are here? I mean,
It is life changing. It
Okay.
is. You don't think the things that you would take for granted here, you don't take them for granted so
Understood.
much. Even your tap water on while you brush your teeth, you think twice about doing that. You always, because water is really a precious thing, and when you live somewhere where you really have to gauge that, you come to realize that we live in abundance here.
yeah, we do.
And we need to appreciate everything we have. And, so yeah, as you come back, definitely changed, and I'm sure it was the same for the Bangladeshi FPU.
I think for the women, it was again, these are Muslim women who basically go from their father's house
Yeah.
to their in-laws' house. They're
Right.
married
Right.
often young. They've never been on a plane. They've never left, their district. And to go off for a year to a place where they don't speak the language, where it's unfamiliar to them, obviously, and then not to be unable to return home for a year, no matter what happens
Wow.
Yeah.
at home, is really,
Right.
really challenging. And we watch them sort of go through this process with grace and integrity, and like essentially they sort of took their mandate as the way that soldiers do. They felt that it was, this was their job and a duty, and they went to serve their country, and they succeeded. And again, it is a work in progress. There are many sort of trips and falls along the way, and I think for both the UN and as this is, it's the sending out of FPUs from all over the world who speak different languages, who have different customs, who may have come from countries of different economic status.
Right.
It's challenging,
Okay.
and that is obviously present in the women's journey. But ultimately, our focus was on these women. How they're really groundbreakers. They're breaking. They're sort of paving the path for those who will come after. And
Yeah.
I think, and that's how progress happens.
Yes. Yeah.
Over generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, which always seems to take too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
Does. It really does. But I love that you guys follow this story. I mean, and I think that is my favorite part about coming across documentaries is like, if nobody had mentioned this documentary to me, I might not even know this had happened.
Yeah.
Or what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you know that there are UN peacekeeping forces in Haiti. You know that they're in other parts of the world, but I never would have known this story. and stuff like that. Well, like I said, it humanizes the element. I mean, it's no longer a headline. It's no longer, oh yeah, the UN's back in Haiti doing their thing again. Yeah, that's great. Oh, where's my Tim Hortons coffee?
Doing whatever it is they do.
Yeah. Whereas this, personalize it. And it also lets me not only look at a Haitian culture, but it also lets me look at, a Bangladeshi Muslim culture as well.
I think that's something very important to what you just said. And, this is something that we have spoken about, but the idea about the these are also women coming from a quote unquote, as the West puts it, a developing country,
Yeah.
going to aid another
Developing country.
and that is not it's not often what you might see.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about this previously about how there was a lot in common actually. I don't know if you wanted. There was some stuff that you had said before about too with police officers, sort of the desire to serve. I don't know if you want to mention that. That was pretty powerful.
The sense of duty and the sense of really, no matter who you are, if you're a police officer, no matter where you live, which country you're from, you have that sense of duty, a sense of helping others. And you could tell in the movie that they didn't necessarily know what they were getting themselves into, but they knew that they had a goal, an objective. They had they had a duty to fulfill, and they had to accomplish a mission, pretty much. And you can see that even at the end of the movie, when they say that they're proud to have been successful at it. To finish a mission, to finish a year-long mission is a success in itself, because it isn't easy. Many people quit, so it's, just to finish is successful. Now to add to that, many successes throughout the mission is even better.
Right.
And you could tell that they were really happy that they managed to do it.
That's awesome.
Well, and then to sort of build on what JJ is saying, the other thing that was really interesting is when you bring women from a country such as Bangladesh. Bangladesh is obviously it's a small country and it's a poor country. There is tremendous poverty there, and the women also are coming from a place where there are a multitude of environmental disasters every year, and I think that they really what we noticed was that when they went to Haiti, there was not judgment, in the way that there might have been had they been coming from elsewhere, from essentially a wealthier country or a background. In fact, they had tremendous empathy for the people of Haiti. I mean, they were surprised by some of what they saw. They didn't realize that there was such dire poverty outside of. They thought that that what we were born, or that we lived. That Bangladesh was one of the only places, but we see it here too. And they understood why the frustration and anger of the people. I think in a way that was really profound, because they themselves come from a place that struggles with the same issues.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. That would totally make something more empathetic. Stunning.
And it makes it like, there's that whole adage about when you have nothing, how hard is it to give? You see people who have everything and they're not given anything. And then you take someone who has very little and yet they still find some way to share and give back as well.
Awesome. And I'll wait to watch this one. Let me just put that in. I can't wait, because it looks amazing.
So watched it before you see this video.
and it screens on which day?
It's screening actually tonight.
Nice.
It's 6:50 in there.
Okay.
We had our premiere on Friday.
Excellent.
Which was wonderful. JJ was there. The whole team was there. It was packed.
Oh, good.
It was well. We were very pleased, and the audience responded very well.
Wonderful.
So that was, they didn't kick us out of the room and they didn't run out. They stayed for the Q&A, which
You
Always
focused
good.
on
is not the
3
norm.
specific women, I think, right?
Yes, we did.
Are they here?
Unfortunately, they couldn't come. One of them is tremendously pregnant.
So not just a little pregnant, but tremendously pregnant.
Which at the end of her pregnancy, and so it was not possible for her to fly. But even so, we found that the visa issue was very challenging.
Yes, I guess so. Have they been able to see the film?
They have not seen the film yet because we barely finished to get it here. So we were basically carrying it here. So I think a lot of filmmakers do, in our carrying it inside our shirts.
Gotta keep it
So
safe.
there was no, but we will film. We are doing the festival circuit.
That's really cool.
We'll be in Mani in Mumbai, and we will. We're planning to We're hoping to Dubai. There will be a New York premiere. So
nice.
we are, and Bangladesh is of course very high on the list.
Now, if you aren't in one of those places, is there a way to find you guys like on Facebook or Twitter? Is there a way for other people who are waiting to see this film that they can find out when they can?
Oh, absolutely. We have, there is a website.
Excellent.
Charmaine and I both have websites, GTP2 Films and SOC Films, and we are on Facebook. It's a journey of 1,000 miles, so you can Google it and you can find me on Facebook. And then we will have updates and screenings and festivals and where we're making. And obviously we will do, there will be a distribution out.
Excellent.
You know,
Yeah.
in the process of acquiring. So.
Excellent.
So
Which
we'll
I'm
do
sure
that.
somebody's going to snap up any second. I mean, seriously, this
Having
is a
not
film
seen it, but yeah.
right?
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
So
It's
excited
gonna
about
happen.
it.
It'll totally happen. And in regards to the peacekeeping effort, I mean, how do people get involved with that? I mean, if there's people like me who wouldn't be comfortable going somewhere, how do people get involved?
That's a very good question.
That's my one a day.
I can only really speak to law enforcement, so if anyone is in law enforcement, they have bulletins. Every law enforcement gets the bulletin, so you have to volunteer for it. That's how it works. So now, as a civilian, I'm sure if you go on UN.org,
Ah,
you'll get
perfect. Okay.
an opportunity to see all the different opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you both so much for this. This was great.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking very
and
forward to
please
it.
do see the film and send everybody an email.
We will.
Already doing it.
Perfect.